Hi, lovelies. My name is Promise Chupado, and this is Elf Luxury TV show. Okay, the last time we talked about wealth, value, and skill, and today we have a very powerful topic to look into, which is entrepreneurship and business. And I assure you, it's gonna be interesting. So we have a professional in the midst. He's a cook, he's a videographer, and he's also a fashion designer. And trust me, it's gonna be interesting. He's no other person than Mr. Ehirim Junior Chinedu.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here today. Thank you.
Okay, sir, we'll be looking at entrepreneurship and business. Please, I want you to enlighten my audience on business and entrepreneurship.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Once again, it's good to be here. And thank you again for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Okay. As long as you are in Africa, or let me take Nigeria for an instance, business is something everybody should venture, or entrepreneurship is what everybody should venture right now. Given the high cost of living right now, having a multiple streams of income should be the goal of especially every young person right now. The era of white collar job as a status quo for somebody that's doing well, I think that era is gone right now. So every young person should venture into an entrepreneurship scheme or the other, and it is quite easy to do. Or before we start talking about how to do it, first of all, entrepreneurship is simply doing something all by yourself, or raising a set of team or set of people that will help you to achieve a particular goal. It could be a skill, it could be a professional venture as well. As long as you are the one in charge, you are the one in control, taking the risk and also managing the risk all by yourself, that could be called an entrepreneurship. All right. Then at the same time, also happens to if you also want to define business, it's also tempting. It could be something that you develop by yourself, build up by yourself, and over time run the risk, and also manage the profit as well. I think that can be called a business.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, sir. I believe entrepreneurs often maintain a habit in their personal lives,
Okay.
and professional lives,
Yeah.
and it helps to contribute to their success.
Okay.
So, sir, what are some of the habits or some of your habits daily?
Okay. Daily, I think one of the things I do daily is to take a stock of what I did the previous day, or that's one of the things I do. I make sure that I go back and check that the things I set out to do, because every day I have what I call the plan for the day, my to-do list. So I don't check it at the end of the day. The day I check it is the day after, to make sure that I did everything I was supposed to. If there is anyone I peradventure didn't do, I come back to it and start from there already. Then at the same time, I always have a plan for the day. I don't just wake up and start doing anything. I have a plan. I have a set out goal for the day. If I'm supposed to do this thing today, I'm going to make sure that I do it. So every day I have a plan. That's one thing I don't miss. As soon as I wake up, I have my phone. I can even open my to-do list. Every day I have a to-do list of things I'm supposed to do, except for my personal life and for my entrepreneurship life as well. So if as soon as I am done with my to-do list, from there I can start going for the day.
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, coming to this question, I want you to tell my audience and want to understand what you do. What do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur? Because I believe some of them don't enjoy the fact that they are into entrepreneurship or into business. Some are not comfortable being a business person or an entrepreneur. So what do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that there's no need for you to do something you're not enjoying, especially when you have to do with entrepreneurship, because that will be the driving force for you. If it's something that you love doing, even when it's not going so well, because you love doing it, you just keep at it until you start working the way you want it to be. So one thing that I enjoy as an entrepreneur is the luxury of my time. I have my time to myself. Nobody is encroaching into my time, telling me when to work. I don't have anything like work hour. I can decide to work all night. I can decide to work all day and sleep in the day. Just however I decide to plan myself. So I'm not caged into a particular time zone. Say you're going to work 9 to 5, or you're going to work 5 to 9, whatever. I decide when to use my time. All that benefit of being an entrepreneur is I decide where to work, when to stop working, and when to start working. That could also be seen as time, but it's a little bit different. I can, for most people that are doing what you call your white collar job, they don't have the luxury of probably working from home. It's not everybody, but I have the luxury of working from home. I have the luxury of working on the go, even on the road. Even as I'm speaking to you, before this interview started, I was working already. Even on this interview set, I was editing videos and all that before now. So even as I'm on my way going home now, inside the car, I can also be working as well. So that's one thing I enjoy about my work. I have the luxury of time. I have the luxury of working where I want. I also have the luxury of managing my profits, managing my card rates and all that. So it's a whole lot to enjoy being an entrepreneur.
Those of us out there having one challenge or the other, you can hear that you'll be able to have a lot of time. Okay, for most of us who complain about I don't have time for this, don't have time for that, don't have time for myself, even to go for other activities, you can find out that being an entrepreneur or being a business person, it is a lot of privilege. You have a lot of time for yourself. Even as a parent out there, you have time for your children, have time to arrange your home, in fact there is a lot of time for you. So I hope you got that. Okay, so moving down to the next question.
Okay.
We want to know, what do you find most challenging about being an entrepreneur?
Okay. I mean, everything I have comes with its ups and downs. All right. While in school, they told us everything that have advantage has also a disadvantage. Okay, one of the things about entrepreneur, one of the challenges of an entrepreneur is risk management. You have to manage the risk all by yourself. When you, for instance, if you are a trader and you make a certain trade and it crashes or it fails, that you have to manage it all by yourself. The risk, you take it all by yourself, and most times it could be very depressing. It could be very discouraging. Most times you even want to quit. So that's one of the challenges that we face. Most times you make risk. Most times you take some steps that are risky, and then it fails. You have to manage it all by yourself. Another thing too is also time. Most times you can be so choked up by your work. I know that I just said it that I have the luxury of my time, but most times too, there's a way you can have. For instance, let me use my fashion entrepreneur as an instance. During Christmas period, I'm always choked up. I don't have time for family. I don't have time for personal things. So if you're not a good time manager, it can also affect your personal life. It can also affect your health as well. It can also affect your family life as well. If you're married, you don't have time for your kids and your wife and your children and stuff like that. And your personal time of taking out time for break, recreation, at the same time, you can overwork yourself and it becomes a health challenge. So that's most of the challenge of an entrepreneur. Most entrepreneurs don't have what we call break time or vacation time. Most people, like for instance, let's say teachers have time for holiday, they can use for all that, but entrepreneurs rarely have time for leisure and all that.
Wow. Okay, for most of us who are finding it difficult in this entrepreneurship of the thing, we want to tell you that there must be a challenge. Like he said, time at times you need to manage your time very well. So just take note of that in case you are going into a business or you want to be an entrepreneur. Okay, going down to the next question, I believe, what have been your most significant failures and what did you learn from them as an entrepreneur?
Okay, I think that one of the most painful failures that I encountered, and I wouldn't say that I've mastered how to overcome it totally, but I'm trying. I'm still learning. I'm still growing over it. Is not being able to manage my clients properly. Yes, not being able to manage my clients properly. Most times, I under deliver, I underperform, and most times it becomes a problem for my clients. I don't meet up to their requirements and their expectations, and it becomes a problem. So some clients are not patient enough to allow you to make your mistake as an entrepreneur. So it is one of the major challenges I have. I've had some big clients that I've lost, and I don't know how to, and up to now I've not been able to rekindle that client, my customer relationship. I've not been able to rekindle it because I've lost them as I've lost them. So that's one of the failures that I encounter right now. Another thing is financial failure. Most times I've made some wrong investments and wrong choices, which have actually messed up some of my plans on where I'm supposed to be today. So I think basically these are the two major challenges that I face as an entrepreneur.
Okay. So I want to know, what do you wish you could have done differently as an entrepreneur?
What I could have done differently. All right. I wish I started early. I wish I started early to manifest my entrepreneurship. Even though I would say that I started early, but I was still working under somebody. But I wish I started this entrepreneurship journey early. I wish I'm a fashion designer. I wish I learned fashion very early. The time I had a lot of time on my hand, but at the same time I'm still grateful for where I am today. So some of the things that I'm doing now, I wish I started doing them early. I wish I knew them earlier. So I think basically that's I'm not saying that I'm too relaxed where I am, but at the same time I'm comfortable on the growth, on how far that I am growing. So I wouldn't if I'm say that it's a regret, I don't have any regrets. I'm going at the pace that I'm supposed to right now. Yes.
So I want to look at what makes an entrepreneur successful.
What makes an entrepreneur successful? One is, might even be the only one I would say, but one is consistency. There is something about consistency that even the forces of nature respect it. If you are consistent over time, you discover that your growth you can actually trace your growth. Many entrepreneurs, why they fail is because they try out their plan A and try their plan B and try their plan C, and it doesn't work, and they just throw in the towel. No, consistency is key. Have a track record of I have tried and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. Don't easily give up. Consistency is the key when it comes to being a proper or successful entrepreneur. Consistency is key. Keep trying. Keep trying and trying. It will work. Have the mentality of as long as you believe or you have seen that this kind of thing work for this person, keep trying and keep trying. It will work. And trying does not mean that this same path that you followed and it didn't work out, you're still going to follow that same path. No. When it fails, come back, re-strategize, and go back on it again. Fail, come back, strategize, and go back on it again. And one day, surely, it's going to be a success. So consistency is one of the keys that makes you a successful entrepreneur. Another thing is strive for excellence. Strive for excellence. If you are going to deliver at the maximum excellence. Don't settle for less. Don't settle that if, for instance, if you're a fashion designer, don't settle that I can make a clothes people can wear. No, make a piece of clothes that is exquisite. When people let their first reaction be wow, not I've made this clothes I can wear it to a wedding. No, let it be that people adore that clothes. So go for excellence. Be consistent, go for excellence, and these are the two major things. And there are other stuff, but I know this. If you are working with these two for a start, you are going to fly.
How do you plan for your business future? Because I believe some entrepreneurs who started little, they are afraid of how to grow their business, how their future will look like. Okay, let me say maybe they earn little, and okay, let me put it this way: those that have low self-esteem, but they are entrepreneurs, but they wish to grow. but because they earn little. So please, can you just throw more light on this? How do you think their business future can grow?
Okay. Um, for instance, I don't plan to be where I am today by next year. I don't plan so, and I'm also grateful that I'm not. This is not where I was last year or last 2 years. There has been a tremendous growth, which I'm grateful for. And one of the things that brought the growth is that I'm not afraid to take the next step. I'm not afraid to take risk. For instance, I don't know why I'm always using fashion as because I'm into fashion as well. For instance, let's say you have a manual machine now. I know that if you need to grow, you need to start planning to get a bigger machine, a bigger space for your place. So one of the things you need to do is when this is your goal, you should have a financial plan. You should have a financial goal. You should know what to spend on and what not to spend on. You should have a savings plan. All right, you should have a savings plan. Also at the same time too, you should do more on how to get clients, on how to beat competition. These are the things you need to work on: how to get clients, how to beat, because there's also people doing the same thing you are doing. What is this person doing that I'm not doing that is growing? What is this person doing that we are doing together? What am I supposed to do next to outshine this person? I mean, it's competition out there. That's what we're doing, what you are doing. So what am I going to do next to outshine this person to get to the next level? So when you think about all these things, strategize on the next thing. Be consistent in your savings. Over time, you discover that there are things that are spending your money on that you're not supposed to spend your money on. And when you start curtailing on your expenses, you discover that you are saving. And when you have, finance is one of the major things that can take an entrepreneur from a 0 point to 100 points. If you have a lot of finances, and most times you might not have investors, you might be the person investing in yourself. So learn savings culture. Learn how to grow your finance, and then have a proper plan. Don't plan it in your head, write it down. The Bible says that write the vision down so whoever sees it can easily run with it. So at the same time, have a plan, have a goal that by the end of have a yearly goal. That yearly goal break into a monthly goal. That monthly goal break into a weekly goal. A weekly goal break into a daily goal, and you see yourself grow to the next point of your life. If for let's say let's say I want to set a goal that by next year I'm going to have two electric sewing machine, right? And they say, let's say for instance, two electric sewing machines cost for 200,000 naira for each. And what am I making in a month? Let's say I'm making 20,000 naira in a month, and I want to increase it to 40,000 naira a month. How do I increase my? I have a year goal now, which is by the end of the year I should have two sewing machine. Now, what is my finance for the year? Let's say in a year I calculated I made 400k in a year, which can buy me that, but I'm not added other expenses. So I need to break down that 400k in a year into monthly. So 400k in a year, let's say it will give me 20,000 naira in a month. How do I increase my 20,000 naira in a month to 4,000 naira in a month? It means that I need to do more on publicity of my business. I need to do more on reaching out to people. I need to do more on bringing more brand to sell and all that. Maybe venture into other entrepreneurs, or even try to invest or do more on my savings. So when you do all these things, you know that by the end of the year you're going to achieve that goal. And when you achieve that goal, when you have achieved that goal, automatically you are growing. The place you are just with a one manual sewing machine, by next year you are there with two electric sewing machines. So that have a proper plan and you see yourself grow.
Wow, guys, you need to grow your business. Like seriously, you need to grow it. Okay, but so coming down to someone who, like, let me use female fashion designers for instance. Someone who can make clothes, a female fashionista who can make clothes very well, but you find out that this person don't don't have clients who pays well.
Yeah.
But she's thinking of how to grow her business in a bigger way. How can this person break out from that kind of, like, whenever she has a client, they would like price low,
Price are low.
give her a low price. You might find out that she don't have any choice than to take it like that. How can an entrepreneur in this state break out from this? Because I believe everyone wants to grow his or her business
Mm.
to a higher level? How can the person break out?
Now, one of the ways that this is almost the story of every entrepreneur, but one of the ways I I got out of this place is that I started making clothes for people that know my value, people that know what my work is worth. And most of these people will not come to patronize you. So what I do is that I call it my seed time, right? So sometimes I make free clothes for them and go and give it to them, maybe as a birthday gift, as whatever. Just make so that what I'm doing is that I'm telling them that I'm here in case, and I'm very careful when I'm doing. I make sure that it's of high quality. I make sure that I'm on my best, so I give it to them for free. So whenever they need such kind of service again, they will definitely call me. I've sown that seed there, is growing in them. One day they're going to need my service and they're going to call me, and they cannot pay me the same way these other people are paying me. Do you understand? At the same time, you don't need to throw away these people that are patronizing you now, because if you throw them away, you might end up being hungry. Do you understand?
Yes.
But at the same time, have a plan. That's what I'm saying. Have a plan, have a target to meet these bigger audiences. All right, go for events, maximize social media, slide into people's DM, tell them what you do, send them send them notes, just check up on them, try to publicize your work more. Don't settle for things that are around you. If you settle for those around you, you know that your business can be nowhere here, but you have an office in Lagos. How? Through your mobile phone, what people are seeing online. So go out there, make your work visible to more people than the people that are. It's only people that are seeing you that can patronize you. If people that can patronize me are only those in nowhere, because they only see me nowhere, why am I complaining? So I have to also move out to people outside of Owerri for them to see what I'm doing, or people outside my circle for them to see what I'm doing. So one of the ways is start sowing seed into people's life, into people that you want to patronize. If you want the governor to patronize you, find a way, let your work get to the governor. Do you understand? So by that way, they will start patronizing you.
Wow. So guys, if you want to grow your business, look for a way to fix it. You want to solve for the governor's wife, you want to solve for the governor, look for a way, find a way. Just move out of your comfort zone. You want to grow that business, you want to earn more, you have to do something about it. You don't need to just end like that. So just need a way to break out. That's just it. Don't just think low. Don't just think low. Look for, if you are afraid, you need to kill that spirit. Just develop this strong heart. Tell yourself you will succeed. Tell yourself that you must make it in that skill, because you cannot just learn a skill and it rests like that. You need to add value to it. So let that skill create value into your life. Okay. Thank you, sir, for that nice section. So what do you look for when building a team?
What do I look for when building a team as an entrepreneur? Okay, one of the things that I look out for, I know that many people will say people that have talent in this set, but one of the things that I look out for are people that are teachable. People that are teachable, because I believe that if you find that people that are teachable, you can always teach them anything. All right. So I want those that I can be able to say, okay, do this way and do this way, and they will listen. That's one. Two is I like people they don't give up easily. People that are consistently trying. People that when it doesn't work, they find another way to make it work. When it doesn't work, they find another way to make it work. So these are the people that I look out for. Then before I talk about people that are also talented in the area where I am. So the first thing is people that are teachable. Second is people that are consistent, people that don't give up easily. Then the third is people that are talented in the field where I am as well.
Okay, I know why I asked that question, because I believe as an entrepreneur, or you are operating a particular business, you really can't do it alone, because you need a second person. You need a team that will help you achieve that. Okay, for instance, as a fashion designer, you can't just do all of this alone. Even as a cook, you need a second person to help you. You need a team. So look for the right team, look for the people that will give you what you want. Even if they can't deliver, look for a way to impact, make them understand the vision. Thank you. Okay, so what makes an entrepreneur an effective leader?
This is for me. I feel like one of the things as an entrepreneur that have it, I feel like if you are going to work with a team, you need a lot of quality, leadership quality, and one of them that you should have, just like your people that are leading, have a teachable spirit. You also, as an entrepreneur, should have a teachable spirit as well. Most times, the people that you are working with might have something that you yourself don't have. So have the ability, because this is not this how do I put it? This is not just about you right now, it is about you and your team. So have the ability to also listen to your team, to also get ideas from your team. That is one thing that I value so much, because I've seen people that I feel like they can't actually give me anything, but when I started talking with them, I found out that these people are worth of value. They know even more than I know, even though they're working for me. So most times I like to sit them down and talk to them and get ideas from them. So as an entrepreneur, you should also have a teachable spirit, because you need to be learning every day. You need to have a track record of acquiring new things, new ideas every day, and most of these things come from the people that are working for you. So as an entrepreneur and also as a leader, you should have the ability to be teachable. Then at the same time, to just like I always say, you should have consistency. I don't know why I keep talking about it, because I think consistency is my thing. I don't easily give up. As a leader, make sure that I'm not the person that easily throwing the towel. Okay, guys, this is not working. Let's move to the next thing. No, it must work. Have the mentality of it must work, and trust me, if you have that mindset, it will always work out for you. So these are the things that I feel like these are the top priority for me as a leader in the entrepreneur world. I have the ability to listen to my people, the ability to be teachable as well, and then let me say this, I try to make my working environment as conducive as possible, so that everybody is relaxed and people can bring in their best. When people work in a very toxic environment, it makes them not to bring out the best they have. But when you make the environment lively, friendly, as long as you want to be a respected leader, at the same time, you shouldn't be a bossy leader. So I try to make it lively, and so everybody can say what they want to say, work out their best without being tense, be the best that they can. I think these are top priorities for me as a leader and entrepreneurship world.
Okay, what advice would you give someone just starting a business, or an entrepreneur, someone who is new into the business?
Don't be scared. You may others made it, you can also make it as well. Your village people is not pursuing you. Nigeria might not be conducive, but there are people that are still making it in Nigeria. So try, step out of that box. That thing you're planning to do tomorrow, today is the best time to do it. It's not tomorrow. Tomorrow is not a good day to do this. Today. So if you are going to take the risk, please start taking it now. That's one thing I also need to tell you, that you need to be very careful about your finances. When you want to start. It's important. Know your priorities. Have a savings culture. There are a lot of applications now that can help you to save. I don't want to start mentioning them now, because they didn't pay us fat, but so there are a lot of applications that can help you to save. Search them, find them out, have a savings culture, because I think finance is one of the major problems that entrepreneurs have. Apart from sorting out for clients, finance is also one of the major problems. So if you're able to manage your finances very well, you can always grow. Then for sorting out clients, you must develop a people skill. You must learn how to talk to people. You must learn how to relate with people. You must be a people person, if whether you like it or not. I know you can be what people call your introvert, but as long as you are doing business, you must develop the skill of an extrovert. You must learn how to talk to people. You must learn how to engage people, so you can get much clients as much as you can. And at the same time, to strive for excellence. Don't settle for less. Always try for excellence. Then, like I always say, consistency is key. If you try it, it doesn't work, re-strategize, try it again, re-strategize, try it again. Have a plan A, B, C, D to Z. Trust me, before you get to Z, one of them will definitely work.
Wow. Okay, I want to add something to just that, because lack of passion can as well affect you starting a business. Because if you don't have passion for what you want to go into, as a fashion designer, as a hairstylist, as a videographer, as a cook, if there is no passion in it, my dear, you can't go anywhere. So have that passion, you will do well. Okay, so what do you consider non-negotiable in your business?
What I consider non-negotiable in my business is one is the area of people not being sincere. If I notice that you're not sincere, it's a problem for me, and as much as I want to maintain client base, I can't work with such person. So insincerity, especially when it comes to finances, is a problem for me. If we do this bargain, let it be this. Let your word be your word. Let your agreement be your agreement. Don't go back on it unless two of us come to a compromise that this is it. Maybe because I'm an Igbo person, I like money, but whenever we start talking about money, please be as sincere as possible, and whatever we bargain, let it be what it is at the end. Then another thing that is a barrier breaker for me, when I don't go back on quality. Quality is one thing that I like. If I tell you that I'm going to give you this quality, this will be the quality. At the same time too, if I'm also going to patronize my fellow entrepreneurs, if I'm going to work with you, quality is one thing that I look out for. In fact, I've gotten the point that as a fashion designer, there are some kind of materials or some kind of fabric I can't use right now to make clothes for people because it debates the quality of what I represent or my clothing line. So those two are a real deal breaker for me. So, and then if I should also add, I'm very careful of people I bring into my circle, both business partners, clients, and at the same time, as soon as I want clients, there are some clients I can't have in my circle. There are some people I can't partner with, so that it doesn't damage the image of what I'm trying to build over time. So I'm very careful of people that I have in my circle as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, another question I want to ask, because I believe this particular area is very, very some let me say some entrepreneurs do face this feelings of doubt because of their clients and customers. As a result of that, you find out that they are not confident on themselves, and you also find out that because of it they criticize this particular person giving out this skill. Okay, I want to know, how do you manage feelings and doubt when it comes to delivering to a client?
Okay, I think that question is in two parts. The first part is doubt of yourself. So the doubt of myself, one of the ways this is what worked for me. One of the ways I overcome that is whenever I'm doing a thing and I'm having a doubt that this will not work, what I do is that let's say for instance, I'm in a project and I'm done with the project. I'm doubting that this client might not like this project, this client might not. What do I do? What do I do? What I do instantly at that point of that's when I deliver that job.
Wow.
That whatever will happen, let it happen, because at this point I feel like this is the best I will do and I've done it. So at that point of that, I just push it out, because most times we doubt ourselves, not knowing that we have actually done our best. And I've noticed that most of the times that I have such that and I push out such work, it clearly becomes one of the best work I've done. Okay, for instance, recently I went to Port Harcourt to cover a street clothing outline. It's called streetwear. It's one of my friends was doing, so he invited me over to Port Harcourt to cover. So when I came back, I wasn't so confident in the work, because for me it was a new environment. It was dark and all that, a lot of inconsistencies around the recording. But when I came back, after editing it, I didn't feel comfortable in the work. But I was even delaying. She was asking for the job. I was delaying and delaying and delaying. All of a sudden, one night I woke up and instantly I forwarded the whole work to her. And I woke up just for her to be praising me that she loved the work, that this was exactly what she exceeded expectations, and she even sent me more money. So I was so filled with happiness. But in my heart, I was really doubting that I didn't like the work. I didn't know whether she was going to like. So what I do, whenever I start doubting myself, I push out the work and let it just go. Whatever will happen, let it happen. So that's that. Then when it comes to doubting, criticizing other people's work and all that, saying that why it's been, I don't think I've ever been in that zone. I try to mind my business. I try to learn from others. I don't try to poke into. Everybody have their style, have what work for them. So I let it be for them. I don't try to mingle into other people's business. What I do is normally learn from people. I try to avoid criticism, even both constructive one. I just try to, everybody should do whatever works for you. So that's how I deal with that.
So what marketing tactics do you find most effective for reaching new customers?
Most effective, social media.
Wow.
Social media, you must be present in social media. It's very, in fact, if you're in this era as an entrepreneur, whatever you are doing and you nobody knows on the internet, you have not started. You have not started. So for me, social media is one of my most effective marketing tools that I use. So I make sure that every work I do, most time people can be very tired of it, but I don't care. I push it out that this is what was going to feed me. So I push out my work on the internet. Most times I'll not push all of them. I'll give a sneak peek of it, say this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. So I do that a lot. Then there's something I call seed sowing. I don't literally mean like seed sowing in church. The seed sowing means if there are clients that I'm targeting and they're not coming to me, I have to go to them whether they need me or not. I go to them and show them my work. Even sometimes I go to them and do my work for free for them and give them, sir, this is what I did, this is what I did, look at this, so I did it for you. So they like if they like it, they will now want you to do it for them and they will not pay you. So these are my two major strategies: social media and my seed sowing.
Okay, sir, in summary, what do you have to tell to the youth out there? Like, what advice do you have for the upcoming entrepreneurs?
All right. I feel every youth, coming from the part, there are a lot of things to say to my fellow youths out there. A lot of things to say, but since we're talking about entrepreneurship and how to properly set up a business and make it in life in general, one of the things I will advise you: please don't settle for one stream of income. Go for a multiple stream of income as much as you can. As much as you can. There is a whole lot you can do out there. Find out what you love doing, that even without being paid you can still do it. From there, keep doing it and then convert it to money. That's one of the advice. Don't settle for one stream of income. Have a multiple streams of income as much as you can. I mean, I'm not saying don't go for education. I will never open my mouth and say education is scam. Education is not scam. I'm saying it and saying it over again. It's not scam. But at the same time too, get something that your hand can do. The Bible said that whatever your hand finds doing, do it well, and the Bible will bless the works of your hands. So find something to do with your hands, and trust me, you can also be doing your 9 to 5 job at the same time have what we call the side hustle in Nigeria. So have your side hustle, you can call it your entrepreneurship, and I mean, Nigeria will get better. Stay on, the Nigeria will get better. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for educating my audience. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I so much appreciate your audience in our midst. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, guys, we've come to the end of today's talk show, and I believe you are blessed. You've been blessed by this wonderful topic: entrepreneurship and business. Okay, I still remain your own promise, Chipado. See you in our next edition. Thank you very much. Bye.